Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Molson Canadian, made from Canada, and Rocky Mountain Barbecue, Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best. Welcome to the show, everybody. Ian Busby of the Calgary Sun joins us. A lot has happened around the CFL since we last met. Some interesting developments continue to happen because of all this fallout. The Hamilton Ticats are looking at Dave Dickenson as a head coach as we speak. Your thoughts on that? First and foremost, when you look at Belfay and what he had to deal with, he hung himself basically because he couldn't make a decision on a quarterback. And now Dave Dickenson is a candidate down there. I ask you this: two questions. You ready for two? Is he ready?
Can I remember them all? Yeah.
Is he ready to be a head coach? And secondly, would that be a better thing for Henry Burris or a worse thing for Henry Burris to go to Hamilton because of what happened this year?
So you're thinking that if Dave Dickenson goes to Hamilton, they get Henry Burris and they work together again?
I've just thrown that out there.
It's an interesting concept. You say Marcel Belfay hung himself with this two-quarterback thing. I think he just hung himself because he had a 500 team, and they want to take the next level. Now, will Marcel Belfay be able to go somewhere else and take somebody else to the next level? I don't know what his future lies. The thing is about Hamilton is, as long as they had Kevin Glenn as their quarterback, I think they were going to be a 500 team. I think it was a good experiment to see what Quentin Porter could do down the stretch. I wasn't really against that. Can Dave Dickenson be a coach right now? I think so. I mean, if Scott Milanovich can be a head coach right now, I think Dave Dickenson can. I don't think Scott Milanovich has proven anything in Montreal, and now he's the head coach in Toronto. Because the offense in Montreal went through Mark Trestman. He's the guy that called the plays, and he's the one that designed it all. Milanovich did implement it and work with the staff there, or the personnel, and he got the most out of them. But I'm not sure that he's going to be able to translate that over to what he's going to have to do in Toronto. Now, of course, he's got the defensive side nice and locked up with Chris Jones, because Chris Jones will handle that side much easier. He won't have to worry about it. So Dickenson, he's a head coaching candidate in Hamilton and Saskatchewan. Mm-hmm. And if either of those teams make a big play for him, it'll be a real big change in the CFL, because Dave Dickenson has always been a West Coast guy, Vancouver, Calgary. He's a Western type guy. It'd be really interesting to see him go to Hamilton and play in that division.
Well, you hear he's a candidate at both spots, and Corey Chamberlain's a candidate at both spots. So it almost seems if one goes, the other one may go.
The weird thing I thought was, as soon as Belfay got fired, I thought, wow, they really thought that they have to elevate Corey Chamberlain right now or else they're going to lose him. And I wouldn't be surprised if just Chamberlain gets that job and then Dickenson is on the outs in Hamilton, which I think that's the way it's going to play out. This coaching thing is such an interesting one, such a small league, but we have so many coaching vacancies every year. And now it's musical chairs. Everybody's trying to find a spot. There's so many coordinator jobs open right now. A lot of teams are looking for DCs. A lot of teams are going to be looking for offensive coordinators. Winnipeg is one of those. What are they going to do? Tim Burke is still a candidate for some jobs around. Once the head coaching vacancies get filled, which might take a few weeks, then it's going to be slots falling into place for all the coordinator positions. We're going to see a lot of change this year.
There's a lot of talk about Kent Austin resurfacing back in the CFL, especially in Saskatchewan. There were rumors that he would surface in Hamilton, that they were bringing him in. But then there's a report that he said, well, how in the hell can I recruit in college and go up there and interview at the same time? So he hasn't been there as it was reported. Interesting to see. Maybe Saskatchewan would bring him back. But the question I have for you, what the hell is taking Saskatchewan, who had a 2-week jump on anybody, to go after somebody? What are they waiting for? What's Brendan Tannen waiting for?
Well, here it's a little mind play going on between Hamilton and Saskatchewan, because Hamilton doesn't want to lose Chamberlain, and that would seemingly be Saskatchewan's second choice after Kent Austin. Hamilton wants to, or Saskatchewan wants Chamberlain, but they have to play this out. They have to wait and see. Chamberlain wants to wait and see what's happening in Hamilton first. So it's this little mind game thing. Hamilton's screwing with him, I think, by saying, we're going to interview Kent Austin then. If you guys are going to take Corey Chamberlain, we'll take Kent Austin. And that'll be their first choice. Saskatchewan wants Kent Austin more than anything, but does he even want to go back there? The interesting thing is, Kent Austin would probably want to stay closer to his family, be in a situation that's good for him. Saskatchewan is going to be a tough one because he went there for 1 year, amazing year, won the Grey Cup. He can't get much better than that.
Yep.
And he's only going to go down from there. Hamilton's the type of team that you get some fresh blood in there, they're going to take it to the next level immediately.
Sure.
So Saskatchewan's a longer rebuild, and they've got an older team. So interesting play out right now, and obviously there's two candidates, two guys that want the two teams that want them. You would think it would be easy, but it's not that simple.
Well, and you get back to Henry Burris again, and his name it comes up time and time again, and we know they've contacted Henry's agent to try and get something worked out. Giles signing that kind of a big contract for a guy that really is kind of questionable, really, in my mind. But that was done before Milanovic signed.
Right.
Now with the bad blood between the Argos and the Stampeders, does that make it more difficult to work out a trade?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think John Hufnagel is going to be accepting too many calls from the Toronto Argonauts organization right now. There's some bridges burned on this situation. Obviously, the Argos getting fined for tampering means that they found some evidence that backhanded stuff had gone on, and $5,000 doesn't seem like a lot, but to pay a premium on trying to get a coach like that's kind of a silly thing. Obviously, it's not going to be the deterrent that's going to stop anybody else from tampering. Believe you, if you think of $5,000 to get the coach you want, that's not a big deal. That's not a high price to pay. But the thing about the Henry situation is, I thought was really interesting. He had a conversation over Twitter with Jamel Richardson the other day. And Jamel Richardson said, geez, I'd sure like to play with you again. Maybe that can happen. Maybe Anthony Calvillo retires. Maybe it's Jamel Richardson catching passes from Henry Burris next season. That's the type of thing that everybody's waiting to find out. There's a lot of dominoes yet to fall.
And that's what makes it so intriguing. And the Stampeders know they got something there. Who they're going to trade with, and so much can happen. And you keep wondering, with Anthony Calvillo, is he done? Has he got one more year? He's done so much.
Right.
Hard to say.
They're contenders with him, but without him, I'm not sure what they are. Yeah. And we'll have to see if Jamel Richardson is the type of guy who can function without his quarterback that he's had for a long term.
Tired of going to redneck barbecues? Well, you better call Rocky Mountain Barbecue. Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best. Great tasting food, clean and efficient service. Check us out online or call Rocky Mountain Barbecue.